Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Gab with us is Craig and Stevie. Craig and Stevie, did you ever ask your manager to try different formations in a match like Marco Reus asked Marco Rose? I imagine you doing that, Stevie?
Oh, yes.
To Kenny.
Kenny, how about we go to 3-5-2? Shut up.
I was surprised, and I'm surprised this is almost made public by Rosa. Have you ever heard of this before?
Well, shall we Joseph a couple of times? There was like 10, 15 minutes to go in a game and we were one behind.
Right.
And I changed it to a 3-5-2 to try and get somebody else forward. And after that, every time we were behind with like 20 minutes to go, shall we come running over and go, we're going 3-5-2 yet? That's the only time I've ever heard that, man. Right. I mean, nobody would have turned around to any of the managers I ever played for and try to tell them how we should be playing. Not a chance.
Craig?
No, but
didn't go Jim Smith halfway through a derby game?
Jim, no, wouldn't bother with Jim. Jim he'd be lighting a cigar and opening a bottle of red wine at the time. Oh, sorry, there's a game going on. I remember we did it with Wim Jansen once at Celtic, our Dutch coach, but it wasn't during the game, it was after a couple of defeats. And we sat in the room and said, look, I think we should change the system.
Right.
For the senior players.
Okay.
I think this system's not, it was early in the season, it's not quite working for us. And he said, he asked everybody, okay, he said, what would you like? And literally everybody went, I'd like this. And then he went, okay, no. he went, anything you say? And he said, yeah, I think a diamond. I think we should play straight to back. And he went, okay, here's what we're doing.
Brilliant.
And it was like exactly what he was. So he just basically went,
yep.
Get it up.
With Liverpool finally mostly healthy, are people sleeping on them this year because of the lack of big signings, Stevie?
Sleeping on them? What do you mean?
Well, that people aren't I don't think anyone's picked them to win the league.
No, I don't think it's particularly to do with the fact that they haven't signed a big name. I think it's to do with the fact that you've got particularly your main player coming back from a serious injury and you're not quite sure how they're going to be defensively. I think that's why.
But there hasn't been a big signing, hasn't there? There's no one to kind of get you excited as a Liverpool fan, compared to Lukaku or Grealish that we've seen other clubs.
No, but when they're all fit, they've still got a fantastic starting 11. Mm-hmm. Can that carry them through? Personally, I don't think so. But as I said, I think it's purely down to the fact that defensively, particularly with Gomez and Van Dijk, we're not sure, and that because they haven't seen Konate yet. So we're not quite sure what we're going to get defensively.
Where's Klopp's glasses gone?
I was thinking that.
Dad, where's his glasses gone?
I was thinking that myself.
I don't know.
You know everything. Did he have lasers over the summer?
Lunch. I honestly, genuinely do not know.
Oh, wow, there we go. Would you ever get laser?
Can I weigh in on that?
Can you weigh in on what, Gab? Sorry, Gab.
He's not happy.
What's wrong, Gab?
I wanted to weigh in on the sleeping on Liverpool argument because it's something Jules and I talked about on the Gab and Jules show as well.
Well, no, let's face it, you spoke about it, Jules listened.
Midfield, thank you. No, Jules did weigh in too. No, but what struck me was if you look at the Liverpool midfield that played against Norwich, obviously you're not going to win the league with those three in there, right? So you've got Henderson to come back from injury. You've got Thiago Alcantara, but he only played 20, he made 20 Premier League starts last season, only made 20 the season before at Bayern. He's just not a super durable player. And then obviously, effectively, your signing in midfield is Fabinho because he won't be playing at the back where he spent more than half the season last year. But it's pretty thin after that. You get into Curtis Jones and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita and all these players that Stevie loves. And, Wijnaldum played every single game last season and now he's gone. I think that, for me, is the biggest question mark.
Done with Jurgen's glasses.
Where's his glasses?
Where's the glasses? You'd need big lasers for your eyesight.
I know a guy that might laser them for you. A guy at the golf club who doesn't know an uphill putt from a downhill putt.
Right, okay.
And he's an eye doctor.
Brilliant.
Which is slightly worrying. You know what I'm talking about? 3 swings.
Oh, 3 swords, yeah.
Gab, do you think Real Madrid, it's quite long, will be able to make some significant signings next summer with high earners like Bale, Marcelo, Isco all ending their contract in 2022? Also, Modric would likely leave and leaving a lot of room on the wage bill. Also, fans would be back at the Bernabeu.
Well, that is a long question.
Let's have a short answer.
Yeah, look, I obviously, so short answer, yes, it's going to help. I think it's an open secret that Real Madrid still hope to get Kylian Mbappe, and a year from now they can get him for free if he doesn't extend his contract. And I think the idea, and this is why they hired Carlo Ancelotti, he doesn't make a fuss, he doesn't complain if he loses 2 center backs, gets 1 center back in. He's okay with that, and I think that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Last few weeks of the transfer window, Stevie, what do Spurs need to do to keep up the momentum from beating City on Sunday?
They need to find 2 centre-backs. Sanchez and Dyer aren't going to have 90 minutes the way they did against Manchester City every week.
Why not?
Because they've both got mistakes in them.
Oh.
So you've got the goalkeeper, Lloris, has got a mistake in him. So you've got the so-called strength of your back line.
Well, they just bought a goalkeeper from Atalanta, so that's good.
Just bought a centre-half from...
Atalanta. Yeah.
So why didn't they play
Atalanta?
then?
Yeah.
Atalanta,
Why wasn't he playing then?
Well, they've got to get...
No, we didn't. Obviously, they didn't need them. But I'm
resting them for a big team.
just saying. Listen, as good as they looked on the break going forward,
Yep.
they should be worried about what they've got at the back.
Gab, as if right now, which Milan team will finish higher in Serie A?
As of right now, with the transfer window still open, I'm going to lean Milan.
Ooh.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Ooh.
Wait,
Well, it's
just
interesting
a lot
considering
to lose
Inter are
Lukaku,
defending champions,
Hakimi
aren't they?
and Conte.
But selling everybody.
You
Oh,
lose
just bringing some
Lukaku,
drama.
Hakimi, and Conte in one go,
Yeah.
and you replace them with
Edin Dzeko.
Dumfries, Dzeko, and Simone Inzaghi. I think there's a little bit of a drop-off there. I say that with the utmost respect to Dumfries, Dzeko, and Simone Inzaghi.
Who was responsible for the cartoon strip, Gab? That was really cool.
What cartoon strip?
Oh, the Edin Dzeko presentation cartoon strip. Have you not seen
Oh,
it?
it's the in-house.
It was good.
No, these in-house media, they've gotten. Like, it was cool when Roma did it 10 years ago.
No,
when
it
they
was
had
good.
all
I liked it.
The cool things. Now, come on, did you see Inter's one when they brought in Lukaku and they had the fake news program? It's a bit cheesy.
Oh. Alison was in the Chelsea presentation, wasn't she? She used to work for us. Anyway, Stevie, who would you partner Van Dijk in Liverpool's defence? Konate, Matip or Gomez?
I haven't seen Konate playing with Van Dijk.
Right.
So I've got to go Gomez.
Here we go then. Gab, is the idea to replace financial fair play with salary caps a real solution to tame overspending by the money-rich clubs, or is it a temporary solution to a permanent problem that will be forced to revisit in years to come?
Well, I don't think it's going to be a salary cap. I think it's going to be some form of luxury tax with a limit that will be based on your income. But obviously, you're still going to have the same problem if certain clubs have inflated sponsorship deals, hypothetically. Then you're going to run into an issue. But I think financial fair play achieved its goal of making European football profitable, which is what it was in the 2 years before the pandemic. Clearly, there weren't enough controls. Clearly, I don't think there was enough will to go and really enforce the situation. I think luxury caps are a way out, but I don't even want to begin to think how you're going to go and enforce those how you're going to go and decide to redistribute all the luxury tax revenue that comes in. You just hand it out to other clubs to make them more competitive, like they do in the NBA. Do you spend it on grassroots? I wouldn't want to be arguing over that money.
Jurgen Klopp had treatment on his eyes during the summer.
Yeah.
There we go.
Brave man.
Who had a better vacation, Dan or Gab? Well, I didn't have a vacation, I was working. Gab, you had a full-week vacation, so you win that, definitely, don't you?
I did. I had a bit of beach, a bit of mountains, and Well, I was interrupted by, thank you very much, John Laporta and Leo Messi, as you know. But that was pretty good. Longest vacation of my life.
Beautiful.
Well, since college.
There you go. You got any vacation coming up, Stevie?
Yep.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to Philly to babysit. How about that? Big time.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.